what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Dick Norris Buick GMC in Palm Harbor, Florida. And guess what? We actually have some news to talk about with one of the most iconic of all the American brands. This is a totally redesigned 2021 Buick Envision. This particular one is a preferred ST trim. But before we dive into this new luxury compact SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Buick, been around for so many decades, really built a name for itself with names like the Skylark and the Grand National. Fast forward to the 21st century, of course, a lot of it is all down to SUVs. Now, in other parts of the world, Buicks sell like they're going out of style. But you know what? Here in the United States, it's been a little bit of a harder road to travel for this brand. They are working very hard to get to that younger segment of the population. We've already brought to you that all new Buick GX, smaller subcompact SUV, but now we're here to talk about the redesign of the Envision. Big things are in store. Can they compete? So what I want to find out, is the Envision the vehicle to buy over the competition of, say, an Acura RDX or a Mazda CX-5 with that turbocharged engine? Let's go ahead, dive in, see what's different, and find out. Right off the bat, the styling. Total clean sheet of paper. You can see when we started the headlight housing, you're gonna have LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. I'm digging the overall shape and the way that it intersects nicely into that grille. Mostly blacked out, just a little bit of silver, that's about it. We drop down and what you're greeted to is a non-functional vent. I wish that they would have put at least some fog lamps in there, some LED fog lamps, or made it a side corner air curtain. What's interesting is that if you look at this, it sort of looks like the fake vent that's on the new 2022 Acura MDX, also non-functional. Now we come across the center grille. One thing I like about the Buick grille is that it's not too large. It has a nice width to it, great height. You have that iconic logo, and maybe this is something that needs to be updated to a little bit 21st century flair, but there's so much history, so much tradition. You got some horizontal chrome, some gloss black. This is functional. You drop down, you do have flat black, and this center section is also functional with a little bit of a flat silver simulated skid plate to kind of just give you a little bit extra element of design. When you get up onto the hood, I love the way the hood kind of folds and fits with the grille. You have a nice rise that just comes up, disappears as you go towards the windshield. Same thing with the other two body lines, and then everything else is gonna go to the A-pillar. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So on this ST Sport package, you're gonna get these totally blacked out, metallic black 20-inch wheels. Simple on the design, but I think it really works well with the white particular Envision that we have. You'll also notice that around the fender treatment, instead of having flat black, you have this metallic gloss black, almost close to carbon flash metallic that you would find on a Chevrolet product. And that kind of makes sense because remember, Buick is part of General Motors. But you do have that nice tasteful center cap. I do like the way the badge is all silvered out. I think that actually helps the overall appearance with it. And I think the black wheels give it more of a sportier look for sure. And it makes sense because this has the sport package. Now, as we go down the side, clean body lines. You can see the belt line goes all the way down. We have gloss black on the mirror caps. You're gonna have gloss black on the low roof rails, both top and bottom of the window treatment. And then down below, some more gloss black with some of that chrome. Now this makes sense because they did take some chrome from the grille and put it on this lower sill. One of my favorite parts is this body line. Actually comes out of nowhere on the front door and then just coasts all the way towards the rear. Really gives it a nice, unique flavor from the side. As we keep working our way back, good size on the quarter window. Smart, I think, to flare out that trim into the rear pillar area. And then as we wrap around out back, short stubby on the low roof spoiler. You do have your rear glass wiper. I'm not gonna zonk it. Actually, I'll do a half zonk because remember, this price point, it would be nice to have it tucked in, but I'll just give it a half zonk. I am liking the blacked out taillights. Nice LED lighting there. The Envision nameplate And then as we come across, you got that BMW, that Buick logo. And then as we drop down, ST for that sport package, some gloss black. You have some more of that flat silver, which is that simulated skid plate design. And then you're gonna have these two outlets, which I don't know why they put these here. I am gonna zonk these. They almost look like a fake exhaust. They don't do anything. Just leave it smooth. We really don't need all that extra stuff, but why don't we pop the hood and see the new power plant for 2021. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. All new engine actually is gonna be your single engine choice compared to the previous generation where you had two engines to choose from. The good news is we're talking about a nice power plant. It's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. You can get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Depending on which way you go, the vehicle could either weigh 3,692 pounds or 3,932 pounds. On the front-wheel drive, you're looking at 24 in the city, 31 on the highway. And some of the other competitors to this is gonna be the Infiniti QX50, the Lincoln Corsair, and the great news is that on this 2021, they've actually elevated the overall luxury feel, but they lowered the price across the trims by about $1,700. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what new things are in store for you in the Envision. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Buick Envision, that preferred ST package on it. I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I've been looking for a compact SUV. I've seen all of your other reviews. I was hoping that you were gonna get to this one and you delivered. How much is it? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right around $34,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. So you're gonna get soft touch material up top. You're getting this faux carbon fiber type design that's got a gloss to it. And then you're getting a little bit of silver on the door handle. What I do like is the leather style material in the center of the door panel with the white contrast stitching. Armrest is super soft. Door pocket is a little tight. Maybe a bottle of milk and one donut. Don't push it, especially if you're going jelly. You're gonna squirt jelly all over the place in here. Now, when you go to the dash, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I like the overall design. It's just a little bland. I wish they brought some stitching from the door panel onto the dash, but it is soft touch material, pretty slick looking, almost like a triangular shape on the AC vents. And then ours has the optional 10.2-inch infotainment system screen. So standard is 8-inch, this is 10.2. There's more of that faux carbon fiber style design. You have your swipe features, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You could get your climate controls very easily. Just touch the screen. So obviously it is a touch screen. You don't have to ask me that. Then, of course, you're gonna have all your other features. Now, what's wonderful that I really love about General Motors products are the clarity of their cameras. I'm gonna throw it into reverse. Look how clear that is. It's like watching a TV screen at home. You could put the trajectory, very smooth, very crisp, put it back in the park, and we're right back. Yes, you do have a Wi-Fi hotspot, which is great. Some gloss black over here, but you know what? It does look very 21st century in this Buick. Now, as we kind of toggle down, you have your start-stop button. Here's where they listened to me. They took the stitching. Why didn't they take the stitching and put it on the dash? But it looks really classy here. You have your dual climate control, heated seats, but no ventilated seats at this price point. A little bit of gloss black. You do have a little bit of a oh crap handle for the passenger. It's more like a, you kind of just have to hold on to it like that in your Envision. But the great news is they envisioned it properly and put some stitching. You got a few buttons here. We slide this door open. You got a nice cubby for at least 4 Twinkies, a USB-C, a USB, and a 12 volt in there. Just don't put your Twinkie in there, that's gonna hurt. Closes nicely, 2 cup holders, and then you have a very interesting push-pull transmission system. So this is for the 9-speed automatic. The park is a bright aluminum silver finish. Everything else is gloss black. And remember, it's push, pull, and then back to push again. 2 cup holders. Here is your Buick key fob. It's pretty tasteful. It's got a nice weight to it. I like the little aluminum finish, and you do have remote start, which is important. And then before we get to the center console, you do have a nice little cubby area. Now, You could put a whole box of Twinkies down here, but you could also put a small purse, a merce, a small bag, a small sack. Satchel probably isn't gonna work, but you could put one of those hip bags or fanny packs down there very easily. And then we get to the armrest. Now you do have a mode selector switch here, which I'll show you more of that when you get to the business end. And you have the Bombay doors. Stitching is great, bombs away, easily drop another box of Twinkies in there, close it up, and the seats, they are cloth on the preferred with some of this simulated leather with the stitch work. They're very comfortable. It would be nice to have full leather, but you gotta go up the food chain when it comes to the treatments. Now there's only 3 trims. The Avenir is the top trim, which we will be bringing it to you here on Rady's Rides, but I would definitely want to show you what you get at preferred. Lighter headliner, which is nice, makes it seem a little bit more bright and airy in here. I'm 6 feet tall, I got plenty of headroom. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this leather wrapped steering wheel in our Envision. All right guys, business time behind the wheel of the Envision. You do have power seat controls for the driver with lower lumbar, which is nice, easy to get to. And then overall, the steering wheel, love the leather. The stitch work is really clean. A little bit of aluminum finish, looking classy. There's that iconic Buick logo smack dab in the center, some silver off to the side. Everything else is flat black. You do have a heated steering wheel, and you do have large plastic paddles behind the steering wheel. Now what's interesting, look at how they did the stitching over here. Why didn't they do that over on this side? It would have just kind of made a nice cohesive look. And then the gauges, they look like a General Motors setup. It's very similar to what you would find in a Cadillac XT4 or XT6. You have the analog needles, you have some digital displays in the center. You can go through a whole cornucopia of information there. Easy to use, but it would be nice, and it will be interested to see on the Avenir if it does have a full digital display. And then of course you got your 3 modes. Snow and ice. If you wanted to make a snowman, go into that mode. If you want to take a tour maybe of Europe, go in that mode. And then of course if you're feeling racy, you know how we're going to do it here on Rady's Rides, sport mode. But overall, good amount of headroom. Let's get to the back seat and see what kind of room your passengers have in the new Envision. All right guys, we're in the back seat of the new Envision. The great news is that Buick envisioned a lot of headroom and they delivered. There's plenty of headroom even for the backseat passengers. Backs of the seats have that leather style material, a little small on the seat pocket, but the good news is you could keep maybe a medal that you won. Maybe you were in the Boston Marathon. You could leave your medals back here, and the great news, they're not gonna get scratched. We do have some rear AC vents. What's interesting is they're probably some of the smallest ones I've ever seen. They remind me of the ones that my sister had on her Barbie Corvette that she got for Christmas when she was 8 years old. So very small, but it is nice to have the rear AC, USB-C, and USB. I'm 6 feet tall, like I said. I got plenty of leg room here, definitely plenty of headroom, and we do have a nice high armrest with 2 cup holders. That's all you need. Same design with the cloth, with the leather style material, but why don't we get to the cargo area and see what we could haul in this Envision. All right guys, time to get into the cargo area. Hit the button, electric assist, opens up at a fairly quick to moderate pace. When you open up the back, you're gonna see you have a nice flat loading floor. Underneath this is a spare, which is nice to see. So many brands getting rid of their spare. You have an emergency nook for your Twinkies. You could even put a bag of Lay's chips if you don't want to go with the golden, delicious, cream-filled treats. Now with the seats up, what are we looking at? You're basically looking at 25.2 cubic feet of space. You fold down that rear seat, you're now looking at 52.7. I'm gonna go ahead, have Lori stay in. I'm going to actually put the seat down real quick, at least on one side, just to show you what's nice is look how flat that is. We actually got a level that's totally spot on correct. I even went out and got a T-square to make sure everything else was good. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's take this Envision for a spin. All right, guys, we're in this 2021 Buick Envision with that new 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. Right away, what I love is the amount of visibility out the windshield. You could also see that center rise in the hood, just gives it a different feel compared to the competition in this compact luxury SUV class. Pretty quiet inside the cabin. I'm not getting a lot of road noise. I'm not getting a lot of wind noise. Steering wheel feels great. I do have it in sport mode. Let me slow down a little bit and we'll do a little bit of on throttle, see how that new inline 4 performs. But on throttle, here we go. So that 9-speed automatic transmission shifts very smooth. It is wonderful the way that they have the infotainment system angled towards the driver, very driver focused. And it's great that they went ahead and did the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. If you need all-wheel drive, you can get it with this new Envision. All right, guys, once again, on throttle from a roll. I'm telling you, you can tell by the way that the nose rises under on throttle acceleration. It does have a nice little bit of giddy up and go out of that 2-liter. Visibility out the back is really wonderful to look out. You would think that with the way the glass is slanted, it would be a little hard to see. Visibility is great. Side mirrors are awesome. You got your blind spot monitoring detection. You have your lane keep assist, so you are going to get the safety features that you come to expect. I do like the layout of all the switch gear, especially for the AC controls. There's just a little bit of gloss black in that center console area. Now the good news is you're probably going to leave the door open, that lid, which then that takes away almost half of it. So other than that, it's not too heavy on the gloss black when the lid is open. When the lid is closed, there is quite a bit. But I'm getting nice sensation from the seat. It is supportive, it is comfortable all at the same time. And I don't know if you can hear what I'm hearing. What I'm getting at, there's not much to hear. It's actually quite quiet in the cabin, which is a good thing. What's really neat is that when it comes to the safety features in this Buick Envision, I like with the emergency braking that it actually projects these LED beams onto the windshield, just to give you that visual alert. You're hearing the alert, and obviously, hopefully you're looking in front of you and seeing that somebody is braking in front of you. But it kind of just really is nice to have that type of tech, safety tech, at this price point. And I think the thing I love the most about this interior is that over 10-inch infotainment system screen. And you know what? The 9-speed actually does a pretty darn good job with doing the shifting business. Nice to not have a CVT, that's for sure. But from a dead stop on throttle, here we go. So really nice, really smooth, very comfortable. Definitely want to add this to your list to check out for 2021. I think the size of the vehicle is really going to fit a lot of people's needs for an SUV. I think the compact size, the word is a little misleading. There's actually quite a bit of room in here. Let's see how it does over these bumps. Nicely done. The chassis, the suspension work, into this right-hand bend, on throttle, up the hill. Here we go. So I'm actually pleasantly pleased with what Buick has done here with the Envision. It's going to be interesting to see what overall acceptance of this compact SUV is all about and how people put it up against the competition. Hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what it's all about. We're going to get back to Dick Norris Buick GMC and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Dick Norris Buick GMC. I definitely want to thank Melvin, Adam Norris, the rest of the crew, getting us access to this 2021 Envision. I think it's nice to see Buick making some changes, trying to have that sporty overall appearance and driving sensation to really get to a untapped market for this brand, at least here in the United States. If you're looking at the other competition, I would add this to the list. It'd be interesting to see how it's all gonna pan out in the end for Buick and the new Envision. But if you wanna keep seeing these compact SUVs, totally new on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you wanna help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, Click the link in the description, get yourself some Radies Rise merch. Gotta give it to the queen of the camera. She's busting her behind out here. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.